Greetings, this is Dan Gibson. Today I wanted to talk to you about what might be an important subject for you. You know, there's probably a well-deserved negative image of network marketing, multi-level business opportunities, and there's good reasons for that. There's a lot of people that have joined companies and have never made any money. Sometimes you've seen friends that have joined some of these companies and they didn't make any money. Maybe you've been pestered by network marketing companies. Maybe you've been told that they're pyramid schemes. All kinds of things can happen, and quite frankly, just about every industry you can think of has some baggage in their history. You know, doctors used to be poorly trained. Drug companies used to have snake oil that didn't do anything, and there was no regulation. Automotive companies used to turn back the speedometers on cars, so you thought you were buying a low mileage car when in fact it maybe was a high mileage car. Again, we just see that in just about every industry. But today, you know, because of consumer watches, self-regulation within industries, because of the Federal Trade Commission and state attorney generals and all kinds of consumer protections, there just aren't any bad companies that, as far as business opportunities are concerned, unless there's something that comes up by fraud overnight and it's caught and wiped out tomorrow. So today there's a lot of protections. There's good companies and there's not so good companies. but there's nothing that's illegal out there. Pyramid schemes, as an example, is a definition of a illegal form of marketing, and of course pyramid schemes are put out of business by state attorney generals and by the federal government, so there really aren't any pyramid schemes unless one just crept up today. Of course, you think of a pyramid as being a top-down structure where somebody's at the top and then it gets wider at the bottom, but that actually describes every organization. I mean, I don't care if it's the Boy Scouts or the federal government. You know, there's one president, you know, and then all the administration. Every business has a CEO, or every corporation has a CEO, and then underneath that are presidents and vice presidents and managers and employees. So every organization looks like that. So it's kind of a silly argument, and we just don't really understand sometimes what we're talking about. But nonetheless, I would like to make a comparison today between a legitimate network marketing business and traditional business, and also look at it through the lens of a Christian perspective. And you know, most of us have spent our lifetime in the traditional world, which is really kind of dog-eat-dog. I'm a pastor, but for many years I was in the corporate world, and you know, all of the bickering and the infighting and the politics and people trying to climb all over each other to climb the corporate ladder, and I quite frankly I hated it, even though I was an executive and served as president and many executive positions. I really didn't like it in my spirit as a Christian. The whole model is not very Christian. You know, Jesus said that he who would be greatest among you must be a servant, or a slave is actually the doulos is the word. And that's certainly not it in the world. He says that in the world men lord over each other, and most of us have been there, where you have bosses that tell you what to do and where to sit and when to come and when you can go and when you can have a vacation. And that's the world's model, which Jesus criticized. But the model in network marketing is really one of a Christian model. If you and I work together in network marketing, I can't lord over you. I can serve you, but I can't tell you what to do. I can't hire you and fire you. I can just mentor you. So if you're the kind of person that likes to be able to serve others, this is that ideal opportunity where you can't abuse others, but you can serve them. And quite frankly, the way that we make money in network marketing is by helping other people survive. But also in a business model, let's say that you bought a franchise, like maybe a McDonald's franchise, and you spent $1 million or so dollars to get a McDonald's franchise, and now you're going to need to hire people for probably the least you can pay, and then you're going to make maybe $150,000-$200,000 a year, and they're going to make $8 or $9 an hour, or $10 an hour, and so now you've got a model where they work as your servants in order for you to make a wonderful income. And if your conscience convicted you and you decided to pay everybody a livable wage, well, that would come directly out of your pay. So if you gave everybody $1 an hour pay and you had 10 employees, that's $10 an hour, and that $10 an hour would come directly out of your pocket. Or let's say that you're a contractor and you decide to give everybody that works for you a $1 an hour raise or $2 an hour raise. That raise comes directly out of your pocket. So to give to your employees means to take from yourself. Network marketing is totally different. In network marketing, if I want to make more money, what I need to do is help more people. And I want to help them make as much as they can. You know, we once calculated that the person that helped us start our business that we started 19 years ago made about $1.4 million from Debbie and I by helping us get started in a business, teaching us the business, and helping us learn how to operate it. So is that a wonderful thought, that it didn't come out of his pocket? It really went into his pocket because he made a percentage from the company, not from us, but he made a percentage from the company for the business that he was able to develop for that company, and they were happy to pay him to do that. And of course, we were the beneficiaries of his willingness to teach and to serve others. So there's a lot of difference between good companies and bad companies, and you have to consider the skills that you have, but it's not dog eat dog. It's also freedom. You know, the word slavery, by very definition, is varying degrees of limitations upon your freedom of movement. You know, if you have a job, it's a virtual slavery, because if you want to go somewhere, you can't go somewhere. You can't decide to go fishing tomorrow. You know, you have to stay there while you're told to stay there and work and do what you're told and so forth. So it's a limitation on your ability. If you decide you'd like to go on a mission trip, for instance, you can't do that. You might be able to take some vacation time, but I hope you see that corporate employment is a limitation on your ability. When your wife has a job in the business world, it really limits the headship of the husband over the wife, because if the husband wants to take the family somewhere, the wife says, I've got to ask my boss, right? So now who's head? You know, the boss or the husband. So any type of employment is surrendering your personal liberty for the dole, you know, not a dole, but for a paycheck. And so owning your own business, especially a network marketing business, is freedom. It's not only freedom for you, but you have a vehicle to help other people become free as well. And of course, you have control of your income. You know, most people that have jobs, I guess everybody that has a job, somebody else determines what you're worth. They say, here's how much I'm willing to pay you. And on many jobs, there's a scale that you get paid the same thing that everybody else gets paid on that job, even though you might work much harder than the slacker that works next to you. Your paychecks probably look about the same. But in network marketing, for the first time in your life, you might find out what you're able to earn. You know, I used to know a lady that was a grocery worker in a Kroger grocery store, and she made $20,000 a year. She joined a network marketing company, and her first full year, she earned $200,000. Now, $200,000 is what she was worth to the world, but $20,000 is what Kroger was willing to pay her, and she did great work for Kroger, so they made money. So she helped Kroger ownership fulfill their dreams at the expense of her own. When she went into business for herself, she was able to learn and to grow and to develop her own Kroger, where she had other people working with her. So you have control of your income. You learn what you're worth, not what somebody else is willing to pay you. There's no limitation to what you're able to earn. Many people in network marketing earn over $1 million a year. It's an amazing thing. And Debbie and I have earned multiple millions of dollars over the years we've had our business, and we've been part-time the whole time. So control of your income and control of your lifestyle. You know, in network marketing, just last year, a year ago from right now, we we bought a motor home and we decided to take off. We went to California and from there down to Arizona and Texas and then back to Missouri. And then we took off for Florida and we went through the whole state of Florida, both coasts, and we spent the winter there. And since we had our own business, a network marketing business, we didn't have any physical location that we had to be at. We didn't have any brick and mortar building and employees. But as long as we had our cell phones and our laptops, hey, we were able to do our business wherever we wanted to. So if you don't like where you live and you live there just because that's where your job is, well, decide where you'd like to live. Because as long as there's internet access and cell phone access, you literally can work anywhere you want to. And then travel. Almost all of the network marketing industry provides incentive trips, and we were absolutely broke when we started our business, and within months we had earned a new car. We replaced our old beat-up Holiday Inn shuttle van that we were driving. Within less than a year, we made our first trip to Switzerland, all expenses paid, and since that time we've traveled much of the world for free, and that is really wonderful. You might not like to travel, but I'll tell you what, it's a wonderful lifestyle. We've taken our children to Europe and on cruises and all of this, so a wonderful experience for them and for us. So lifestyle freedom and income freedom are both wonderful advantages of a network marketing business. The other thing is that you have the ability to create residual or passive income. Most people work for linear income. In other words, you work an hour, you get paid for an hour. You work a week, you get a week's paycheck, and so forth. And it's really hard to get wealthy or financially secure doing that because the inflation has been going up, even the hidden inflation, higher than the interest on your savings accounts. If you're in the stock market, as I speak today, it's been dropping, a whole bunch, and you don't have any control over any income that you have in the stock market. But with true passive income from an asset, you see, in network marketing, we build an asset. Debbie and I own several businesses, and those are assets that produce income. And we definitely have control over an asset that we own. I don't have any control over what's going to happen on the stock market, but I certainly have control when I build my own asset, and that asset produces income. You can't actually spend an asset. Your asset is physical, and it produces income, and that's passive income. We get paid every month on people that we helped to teach business to 18 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 5 years ago, and it just keeps coming in. The money keeps coming in month after month, year after year. That's true passive income. So there's a lot of ways to get passive income. You could have $1 million in the bank at terrible interest, but even if you had 5% interest, you'd only make $50,000 a year. So income from that $1 million. But with our business, we can grow the asset, and it tends to grow by itself because we give people the same business we have. We teach them how to operate the business, and then they go out and do likewise so that it builds. We started our business with just a few people that we shared the business with, and it grew to 38,000 people. We didn't recruit 38,000 people, but we get paid over the years on those 38,000 people and everything that's moved from the factory by that which we create. So passive income is wonderful. It's your ticket to freedom. What if it took you a year to 5 years to build a passive income that would set you totally free for the rest of your life? Would it be worth it? And ask yourself this question. If you keep doing what you're doing today, is that likely to happen? Or will you be like the vast majority of people that they get to 65 or 70 years old and they have less than $50,000 saved? You can't retire very long on that, and if you think you can live on Social Security, you're going to have to live in a tent or something. So this is the poor man's way or the middle class way to actually get free and to provide for long-term financial freedom. The other thing is leverage. A lot of people say, well, I don't have time. I work so many hours, I don't have time. But in this business, we create time. And here's how it works. You might work 40 hours a week or 60 or 70 hours a week. Even if you worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's a limit to how many hours are in a week that you could possibly work. But let's say that I work 5 hours or 10 hours, let's say 10 hours a week to build my business, and I help 10 other people start a business, and they work 10 hours a week. Well, now I'm getting paid on my 10 hours plus their 10 times 10, which is 100. So now I'm getting paid on 110 hours of productive activity. You can't do that on a job. And of course, as they share the business with others and build their business, that's why I said at one time we've been paid on as many as 38,000 people. That's impossible, you see. Now that isn't non-traditional, that's traditional. How many people did Henry Ford get paid on? How many people does Bill Gates get paid on? Thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. How many people did Sam Walton get paid on when he started Walmart? You see, the rich always develop time. They're able to go play golf and to live on a yacht because you're working at Walmart and making them money. But in network marketing, we don't rule over people, as I said before, but their time is added to our time and we get paid on it all. So you can create time. Do you see what I'm talking about? Debbie and I get paid every single month and actually every week on the efforts of other people, and they're not doing it to make us money or because they're employees. They're doing it because we showed them a business and they're out making money, and the company's happy to pay us to develop more business for the company. So it's really a cool way to do it. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's easy to start a network marketing business. You know, if you wanted to start a restaurant or a franchise of some kind, or I don't care what it is, most businesses cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, to start, and most people go in debt and borrow money to do it. And then most small businesses fail. Within 5 to 10 years, 9 out of 10 small businesses fail, and it leaves those people not only broke, but it leaves them massively in debt. If you've created leases on a building to start a restaurant, it might be a 5-year lease, and if you go broke in 6 months, like a lot of new restaurants do, you still owe for that 5-year lease. And so in network marketing, it's very minimal cost to get started, even free. I know businesses that are free to get started. So minimal cost, very little risk, because you don't have to quit your job. You can spend 5 or 10 hours a week building your business. You can do it slow. You can do it fast. Nobody's telling you what to do or when you have to do it. So it's a wonderfully easy way to create an asset that produces residual passive income for you without risk. It's just a little work. In fact, what you can do is just turn off 5 hours of television a week and use those hours to build your business, and you can create a future that you'd never get sitting around watching television. So it's easy to start, it's low risk, and something that most people don't realize is that there's wonderful tax advantages to owning a business, a small business. The government over the last years has created many new tax rules to encourage you to start a business. Why? Because the majority of the growth in America today is coming from small business, not from large corporations. In fact, the large corporations are closing down factories and sending their work to China to be done. So in network marketing and in small business, that's where most of the employment growth is coming from. What little we have in America is small business is the key. So Congress has incentivized what they want to see, and they've incentivized you to start a business. In fact, the average, Dr. Ron Mueller, who's the leading tax educator in America, says that the average family can save $3,000 to $6,000 a year just for starting a home-based business. Put another way, you can give that $3,000 to $6,000 to the government in taxes, or let the government give you the $3,000 to $6,000 back in your pocket that you can use to start a business. So even if your business made zero, there's some rules for this, by the way, but even if your business made zero the first year, but you saved, let's say, $4,000 in taxes, didn't you come out ahead? And of course, in a small business, doing the same things that other people do creates tax savings. For instance, if I want to buy the the camera that I'm videotaping with right now, it's tax deductible for me. If I need a new laptop, it's tax deductible for me. You want a laptop, you want a camera, it's not tax deductible for you if you're an employee. So Robert Kiyosaki has said that there's really two kinds of tax systems in America. One is for wage earners who pay most of the taxes, and the other is for small business and for businesses in general, but including small business, because small businesses have deductions for automobile, for travel, for entertainment expenses, for business equipment, for a lot of things that you'd like to do anyway. Driving your car, getting paid 50-some cents a mile for driving your car, taking trips and things like that that are business related. There's just wonderful tax advantages. So there's a link on the article on this page that you can click to go to Dr. Ron Mueller's website, or you can check with a good accountant. A good accountant that understands small business benefits. So tax advantages. So the bottom line is that if you'd like to be free, if you don't want to be a slave the rest of your life, if you don't see that what you're doing right now is going to create financial freedom for you in any short term, then this might be just the answer for you. I don't know any other way that if you don't have a lot of money to start with, that you can actually develop a lot of money other than this type of an opportunity. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Find a good company, and by good company, it needs to be a good, honest company, but also a company that you like the company and its values, a company that has products that you really love. If a company has products that you love, you tell people about it, whether you're in business or just happen to like the products. So find a company that you love with products, either goods or services or technology that you like. And then, of course, if I can help you, I'm happy to do it. So if you'd like to contact me, and I can give you a little guidance. I've been in business for a lot of years, and I'm happy to help you. I wouldn't charge you to spend a little time with you on the phone or even in person if you live close by. And if I can help you with some guidance in finding a business or building a business, if you already have one and you're not growing, I can help you with that. And of course, we're going to have a lot of training, free training on this website. We're just starting this blog, so come back often. Share this with friends if you think it would be helpful. If you have somebody that's critical about network marketing, especially if they're a Christian, invite them to watch this video. Like it on social media, and come back and see us. Awesome. Have a great day in the Lord.